Hey everybody, Artie and Dre here at Bowl Theory at Armadillo Lanes in Houston, Texas. Here to kind of compare some solid asymmetric balls that we kind of like. So, Dre, what do we got?
We got the Storm Equinox Solid today, the Storm Ion Pro Solid today, and the RST Hyperdrive Solid today. Our three ASIM solids that we have in the line currently right now.
Right. At least the big ones, right?
Ones,
yeah,
yes.
right. So we're gonna throw some shots and kind of give you the honest opinion of what we see today.
Yeah.
So we'll see you in a bit. Okay, so we're gonna start off with the RST Hyperdrive. Probably my personal favorite between all of them. It is the earliest rolling. All right, so pretty big, pretty chuggy. It has the strongest shell between the three, so I kind of expect it to be the slowest and the earliest out of all.
So we got the RST Hyperdrive first, and like I already said, I think this is probably the earliest ASIM solid we have right now currently. But so as you can see, that ball wants to hook very, very early, and it wants to be really, really round. I think that's why it's like the strongest or the earliest ASIM solid that we have currently.
Okay, so we're gonna try that again. I'm gonna move it a little bit more left and try to see if I can line up that ball a little bit more flush. I think it's just really, really big and early for me right now. The lanes are a little bit broken down, so I kind of expect the other ones to be a little bit faster and kind of go through the pins with a little bit more energy, but you can kind of already see how strong it is. Next shot, I'll move in a little bit more.
All right, so as you can see, I definitely think this ball is a little too strong for what we're bowling on right now. That's why you don't see me throw a slot in lean. But we're gonna try to make a little bit better shot in the oil now. So as you can see, I moved a little bit more into the oil there. It's kind of let it retain some more energy, and it had a lot more energy than the oil, and they ran them over. I think this ball, if you have some oil or has a lot of volume, it's gonna be real good for that, but need some volume for this big ball.
Okay, so we're gonna get a little bit more left and see if we can flush this up just a little bit better. So this is, again, the earliest ball for me. That shell is just super strong, gets it started. And by the way, all my layouts are 5 by 4.5 by 2. So you're gonna see a little different out of all of them.
So we're gonna go a little even more left now with this one, just to show you how strong this ball actually is. Like, there's a reason this ball is at the top of your bag. It is. So as you can see, we moved even more there just to show you how strong this ball actually is. And we missed in, and it still wants to eat through that oil. So if you're looking for like your just biggest ball, this is probably the one for you.
All right, so we're gonna switch it up a little bit. I'm gonna move to the Storm Equinox, and I'm gonna kind of stay in the same spot where I left off with the RST Hyperdrive, just to show you a little bit of a difference. Now, hopefully I can hit the same target. Now, I got a little bit more outside, but you can kind of already see that that ball gets a little bit further down the lane and stores a little bit more energy. It didn't have a single problem getting to the spot and driving through those pins. That's what this ball is designed to do, to be a little bit further, a little bit sharper, and to me it's like a good step down from that RST Hyperdrive.
All right, so we're gonna go back to that spot where we went high flush with that RC, and we're gonna throw the Equinox Solid now. I think this one is a really good piece for any lane condition you're looking for. So as you can see, this one definitely is a little cleaner, and like Artie said, when it gets to that friction, it wants to respond off of it quite a bit more than that RC Hyperdrive. Gonna be a really good step down.
All right, so we're gonna move right. I wanna see if I can get a little bit, or showcase a little bit more of the versatility out of this one. I'm gonna go about 7 right and 3 with my eyes and see if we can play a little straighter and see what it does. So that ball easily gets down the lane where I feel the RST Hyperdrive wouldn't quite have enough. It'd either roll out or roll too much. And this ball, not a problem. So this to me kind of is that great combo of what you'd probably use it on a house shot, whereas the RST Hyperdrive would be something you would use on higher volumes or score shots.
All right. So we're gonna move a little bit here and kind of make a little bit better shot than the last one, just to show you how much more responsive this ball actually is than that Hyperdrive. So, and usually, obviously a rat turns not a strike, but usually what that tells me, the ball's a little cleaner, right? So the ball's pushing a little bit further and not reading as early as that Hyperdrive. So that move left, as you can clearly see, it definitely gets to that front part of the lane quite a bit more. And just to let y'all know, guys, all my layouts are 5x4x3 to OLS layouts, so kind of get you an idea of if you want to copy that layout for something of yourself.
So we're going to switch the Storm Iron Pro Solid. I'm going to stay where I was with the Equinox, and then we'll go from there. This is the cleanest, part of the Power Edge part because it is the Tour core. And I missed way inside on that one, but it wants to get down the lane. It wants to be smooth and controlled, but it has that little angularity because it just stores so much energy getting down there. So it's the fastest off the friction. And to me, it's great because sometimes the solid balls tend to kind of hook too much and hook too early, and you're moving left, moving left, moving left, and that ball just doesn't quite get there fast enough. And this is where this ball comes in.
All right, so we're gonna switch to the Ion Pro Solid now. And this one's definitely gonna be a lot cleaner than the Equinox and the Hyperdrive Solid as well. Especially because it has that Power Edge finish on it. And as you can see, that ball just skated through that front part of the lane, which is a good thing. So I think it's a perfect step down from both of those. And it has that perfect blend, still being solid, but enough pop at the end for it.
All right, so we're going to try to actually get that out to the friction so you can kind of see what it's supposed to do. So definitely faster, and whereas the Equinox, I was able to kind of blend that out and not be so sharp. This one just took off. So I'm going to move a little left on the next shot and see if we can flush that up.
All right, so we're going to make that same move we did with all the other balls we've been throwing today, just to show you how much cleaner and how much more responsive this ball is, to show you the biggest difference between the three. And that's kind of what I wanted to show y'all guys, so you can see the biggest difference between the three different shots. I made that same exact move I made with the Hyperdrive and the Equinox, and as you can see, this one just gets down lane quite a bit more. But if you get it to that friction, I'll show you on the next shot, it really responds off of it.
Okay, so we're gonna move a little bit left. And this is kind of what I end up doing in League, is kind of compensating for the quickness. Well, you can see how much faster it is, but in general, I like this ball because it leaves me in play for a lot longer than in some of the other solids that we have. But that's because I tend to be a little higher ball speed versus my rev rate, so I stay a little bit further righter. So I kind of like that ability for it to blend out and still be quick.
All right. So another little fun fact about the Ion Pro Solid we haven't seen yet, it comes with Power Edge on it. So most solids don't come with Power Edge or polish on it, but that's also why it's a little bit cleaner to the front and a little more responsive. As you can see, I got that one to the friction a little bit quicker, and you can see how much more responsive and how much cleaner this ball is. So I think it fits right below both of those other two big ASIM solids we have in the line. And what do you think they compare like?
I think that I like how big and early the RST Hyperdrive is. I think that for me, it's a must go to tournaments. It's a must go when we're on sport shots in the summertime or national stuff like that. I think the Equinox is more of a usable version for that in League, just because how much more responsive it is and how cleaner it is. Our shots kind of can get burned up if you use a lot of solids. The heads get burned up. These get a little bit further down and keep you in play a little bit longer. And then my absolute favorite for League play is the Ion Pro Solid.
I mean, I think that's the #1 ball right now for me on most League conditions.
Oh yeah.
You can go anywhere. I would usually knock the shine off of it to kind of make it blend a little bit more in those more cliff shots, but I think that's probably one of the best benchmark balls I've thrown.
Absolutely. Actually, you bring up a really, really great point. Each of these you can change the surface on and get different results. They get a little bit further, a little bit later, and that's going to honestly dictate where that ball wants to hook the most. So if you like any of these balls, have any questions, come see us at Bowl Theory or contact your local VIP Pro Shop.